Hello, today with us we have Wil Barnes, the CEO and co-founder of Jetprotocol. Now, Jetprotocol is a decentralized and a permissionless borrow and lending protocol built on top of the Solana blockchain. So the first question that I would have is, how do I borrow assets?
Borrowing assets on Jet is simple and straightforward. It only requires over-collateralization. So, for example, you deposit some wrapped Bitcoin, you can borrow some USDC up to a certain loan to value. And once you borrow, you must maintain that position. For example, if your collateral value drops below a certain threshold, the protocol will automatically liquidate your position. So in essence, it takes possession of your collateral, sells it on the open market, and then uses the proceeds to pay down your debt. This happens with a liquidator bot that is maintained and operated by the DAO.
Which assets do you support currently, and what are some you are planning on supporting in the future?
Jet currently supports wrapped Bitcoin, Sol, and USDC. We've just held governance votes to onboard Tether and have a ongoing vote to onboard staking derivative MSOL. Any ongoing collateral additions will be weighed on the forums, where you can see every prior collateral onboarding process. And the community weighs the addition of each collateral based on its risk, its liquidity. Is the community actually demanding it? These collateral types are onboarded based on a predetermined governance process, which occurs basically over several weeks, with the end being a 1 week formal vote or 5 working days. Anyone can come and propose a new collateral type just by following the governance process.
So your utility token is called Jet. What are some of the benefits of owning Jet?
Jet holders vote on any decision that the community wants to make. When you stake Jet, you have voting power. So in its infancy, and the DAO is still very much in its infancy, it's very open-ended. Anyone can come propose new collateral additions. They can propose anything, like proposals on what direction they want to take the protocol. And they can change risk parameters for assets later. They can say we want this certain adapter that does, for example, a carry trade with another protocol, or hey, we want to integrate some option interest rate floor type deal for a loan product, and then they can do it. And all it requires is participation in the forums. But the Jet token holders are the ones who have the ultimate say. They vote on what happens to the protocol.
Security is always a big issue, so could you tell us more about your bug bounty program and Jetprotocol code review?
Security in crypto and DeFi specifically is always it's always complex. Jetprotocol is an open source protocol. You can see the source code of our protocol on GitHub, and that means that even malicious actors may be able to can look at it and inspect it for potential bugs. So we've created 2 layers of defense. First, when we're done writing code and we want to make a change to the protocol, we have an independent auditor, take a look at the code, and then we go through this iterative process where go back and forth, fixing the bugs until the auditor says this is, they sufficiently feel like this is secure enough to deploy. And then we, do the deploy, and then while the protocol is live, we have a bug bounty system where you critical, high, medium, and low vulnerability, each one paying out a different one, critical paying out the highest. So if you disclose a bug in private that allows us to patch it, then we will pay out an amount based on the classification of the bug. And this 2-layer approach is I think, very successful in stopping any potential exploits should they be on the protocol. And it also rewards white hat hackers who want to who have the expertise to find these things.
And so how do I get involved in the governance of the Jet protocol?
Getting involved in the governance of Jet protocol is very simple. You can go on the forum and just start chatting away, find a thread, start commenting on, offer your opinions, and anything you feel you want to add. You can also create new threads and bring up topics, propose new mechanisms, like propose what you think we should do in the future. And yeah, it's really that simple. Just get involved in the forums and make your voice heard. And there's folks that, we're all there to grow the protocol together. So if you do want to get involved further, then that's the best start. There's always there's a space for anyone who wants to get involved in the governance. And for example, people who can analyze the credit risk of certain collateral types, people who want to help put together governance proposals, people who want to create a certain core unit of the DAO. It's really open to what the user feels is the best thing for the protocol, and can you get sufficient quorum on that issue? And if so, then there's definitely a place for you at Jet.
Are there any news or events in the near future that you would like to tell us about?
Upcoming events, yes. We have the V2 beta of our protocol going live within, let's say, the next 2 weeks. It's pretty much right now on the cusp of deployment. We're just ironing out a few edge cases. And this is a much more powerful and extensible lending protocol. It allows for integration to other protocols in a much easier fashion through this thing we call an adapter. And we can collateralize many more assets with this protocol. And that is being released within the next 2 weeks. And then our marquee product, which we'll be rolling out thereafter, is margin trading. So you can borrow and lend against assets so resting limit orders on Serum can count as collateral. And you can also do margin trades. You can do carried trades with other protocols. And then the marquee product, as I mentioned, is bond markets. So for example, 1-day debt, 30-day debt, 180-day debt, which introduces term structure, and DeFi, which is not a thing. It is a very real thing in traditional markets. And this allows for more improved risk management tooling for the loans that you need. So if you want to borrow for 30 days at a fixed rate, you can. But then with our adapters, you can do more powerful things on top of that. Do you want an interest rate floor? Do you want an interest rate cap? What kind of interest rate exposure do you want? That can be tailor-made with a new protocol. So we look forward to rolling that out for the next several months. I think it's going to be exciting into the year in terms of improving debt capital markets on the blockchain and becoming a settlement layer for these more interesting credit transactions.
Well, thank you so much for joining in on this chat with us today, and thank you for watching. And make sure you keep yourself up to date with all of our social media channels on the latest finance news around the world. I'll see you on the next episode. Goodbye.